Howdy folks, it's Jake here. Thought I'd show my face this morning. It's only like 6:30 in the morning and I'm already a bit congested from all this grass that's seeding off, but we've got our jobs to do, so I'm gonna go do them. And I thought instead of just showing you cows today, I'd show you a little bit of the other enterprises and projects that we have going on at the farm here. So we actually breed puppies for the pet market and we got a litter here and they're all snoozing. They actually sleep overnight in our garage at the moment, so they spend this time of year when it's cold coming out of winter, they spent the first 5 weeks in the house, and the first 3 weeks we actually had them on heated sheets that we'd cover with a waterproof blanket and clean every day. Hey guys. And we moved them into the shed 2 days ago, I think. And these puppies are standard Schnauzers, and they're all pre-sold already. Owners started selecting their puppies yesterday. Hey guys. I've been breeding dogs for almost 10 years. And the parents of these dogs, I found it really hard to get genetics in Australia for standard Schnauzers, which is a breed I wanted to get into. I used to breed minis with my sister, and then she ended up taking that company and business over full time, and I wanted to get back into it. So I actually imported the bloodlines that we started with from Croatia, of all places. So it's time to feed the pups. Can't remember the exact age. My wife, Mrs. Wolki, is keeping on top of that stuff at the moment, but they're either 5 or 6 weeks. I think they're 6 weeks old. And so mum's feeding them. They're weaned overnight. Their mum's feeding them twice a day, and we're giving them 3 meals of mince a day. Now this is pet mince that we make at our butchery, so it's trim, offcuts that we can't use in human food because it's a bit gritty or sinewy or just chewy, you know, bad cuts of meat that generally wouldn't make it into a sausage even. And we make sure it gets plenty of offal in it. So this is probably trim from pork, lamb. Sorry, not pork and lamb, beef and lamb. There might be a bit of pork in it too, but it's predominantly beef and lamb. There'll be beef, liver, heart, tongue. And then we actually mix seaweed meal through it. So to about 20 kilos of pet mince, we'll put about a cup and a half of seaweed meal into it. Hey. You like that? They're all a bit sleepy, but they've already had, I pulled them out of the garage this morning because they wake up early. So I get down here about 6 because they wake up early and just start shitting everywhere. We change the sheets every day, but pretty soon what I'll do is start locking them in. I've got a crate with a door on it, and I'll lock the 6 dogs in together overnight, and that'll stop them from, that's the beginning of crate training. So when we ship these dogs to their new families, they're basically going to be housebroken overnight with a really good head start on toilet training in general. So I lock the 6 pups without the mum in a crate overnight. We'll do that for 2 or 3 nights, and then I'll get 2 smaller crates and put 3 dogs in each overnight for a few nights. And then we'll get 3 crates with 2 dogs in each, and you get the picture. After about a week and a half, they'll be spending a night alone in a small crate, and they won't be messing overnight because we take the smallest crate we can get and we chock it out with size a little bit so that they can't move around too much, because if you give them heaps of room to roam, like if we gave one puppy that whole crate, they'll crap in the corner. But you can see 6 slept in there last night, and it's pretty full with 6, so they don't poo anywhere. They don't want to lay in their own poo. And then if we follow that program, which we do with all of our puppies, they'll end up spending 3 or so nights alone, without crying, comfortably, without messing, in a crate by themselves for 3 or 4 nights before we ship them to their homes. And then they get, they have a really big day, whether they're getting picked up and driven home or whether they're hopping on an aeroplane, or, there's lots of different ways to move dogs around. At least when they get there, sleeping alone in a crate with a familiar scented blanket and a toy, at least it's not, you know, going from sleeping with 5 siblings and mum in a kennel to that. At least we've, you know, slowly weaned them through that process, and that's something that we've reiterated a lot. Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead. You're going to miss out, what did the boys call you? My kids play with these dogs so much, and they've all got names, of course. I'm going to give the dogs about half of this, which will be a couple 100 grams each. You can see the seaweed meal. Anyway, that's enough of my snotty mess dog rambling this morning. See you on.